Good day, everybody. Darren Yankee with Ekawaya Farms. We're out making some second crop hay. We ended up harvesting most of our hay as a forage and put it in a silage bag for the young Holstein dairy cattle to feed them over the winter months. And the remainder of the feed we got left, we ended up round baling it. We'll round bale it and wrap it with plastic wrap and store it outside. These bales are some pretty nice bales. They're almost dry bales, but not quite. So we only raked it one time, saving fuel that way, and create a very beautiful bale. This stuff is really fine, really nice, grassy hay. This particular piece was a lot of orchard grass and meadow fescue, I do believe is what we planted out here. So a little bit about this farm we're on. We rented this farm a few years back, and we didn't plan on seeding this down into hay, but we cropped it one year. We had soybeans out here in this piece. This is a 5-acre chunk we're in. And we realized that, you know what, this piece is best suited for hay production. We can come in and make it when it's dry out. We're not trying to struggle to get a crop planted and struggle to get it harvested. Because this is some lower ground. It's like a peat type of soil. So this is our second cutting off it. And this year's been fairly dry. We probably could have had a pretty decent corn crop out here this year. But last year, I know we would have struggled to get the soybeans planted on time. So I think this is the best fit for this field. This farm that we have over here is about 90 acres that we rent. And we have 2 of these 5-acre chunks that we converted into perennial grass like this. Like I say, it just costing us money if we're struggling to get it planted and get it harvested. And you have all that upfront money with seeds and fertilizers and chemicals that you got to apply to that field to grow a corn or soybean crop. So this hay production is the next best thing. We already got a load of bales off this field. They're just waiting for the truck to get back to put the last 3 on and move on to a couple other fields that we're baling. But opportunities like this make it so I can come out and check on our corn, see how our corn's doing in the field right next to it. Let's take a venture into the cornfield here. Excuse me for the poor videography going into it. So you couldn't tell the corn was a little shorter along the edge of the field just because it's a little wetter there. And I don't know, all of you that follow us, how many of you actually been out in a cornfield. But you can't see really far when the corn gets tall. Probably could get lost out here if you didn't know where you were going. You just follow a roll, you'll end up outside of the field again. We plant 90 feet on the end of the field for headlands. So I'm just trying to get in the first 90 feet to get into the rows that go with the field. We had no-tilled this piece this spring. This would have been planted into soybean stubble, which had a rye cover crop on at the time. And before soybeans, this field was corn as well. So it had a corn-soybean rotation with the use of cover crops between there every year. What we got looking at here on the soil surface, we got corn residue left over from 2 years ago. But I say we've only been renting this farm for, this is the 4th year we've had it now. And in the past, this farm was 100% full tillage, and this is our 4th year running a no-till system. The first year we had it, we did work it because it was fall worked. So we had to come in spring and work it that spring again. So we only no-tilled this field 3 years out of the 4. So that's a little bit about that aspect of things. So we've really got a whole lot of residue left on the soil surface. We are in mid-July. You can see there's bare ground. Even for having a rye cover crop out here that was knee-high when I planted it. So when I planted the corn, that rye cover crop was knee-high. And really, honestly, out here, that rye cover crop is gone. There's no rye left out in this field. What's left is mainly just old corn residue that breaks down really hard. So that's pretty impressive in itself. And for the most part, the corn is well over my head for height. I think we got the 14th of July today. Has nice color in the corn. Not much for disease, but there is a little bit of disease on the leaves here and there. We'll get a little more aerial view of what's going on. I think this field's about a 35-acre field we're standing in. So that's a little bit of what it looks like when you're out walking in a cornfield. We had planted this field at 34,000 plants to the acre. So therefore, every 17.5 feet in each 30-inch row, there should be 34 plants. But again, you plant at 34,000 and it ain't 100% germination rate. So you're going to have a little bit less than that. And you're going to have, you know, some issues during germination and just early growth that hinder the plant development. So if we're happy when we see a 33,000, that's a really good population when you're planting 34. I don't see any tassels out here yet, so a little early for that. Looking in here, it's down here quite a ways yet, all curled up in the leaf. So we got a little ways to go yet on tasseling corn. It's coming along real nice, looks really good. So, well everybody, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like.